I had a routine mammogram, and it turned out to be a very long appointment because they had to do ultrasound. They came back and wanted to do an ultrasound, and then they left the room, came back, left the room, and then the radiologist came in. When they came in, and he said, "We see a mass on your right breast. We need you to come in and do an MRI and do XYZ with this breast cancer center." I sat on it, and I was like, "Nah, I don't have breast cancer." And I went to the Anne Arundel Medical Center and had a second opinion. And that was in October of 2011, October 14th. Well, they did the same thing that the other breast center did. I had to do an MRI, but then they saw something in my left breast too, and they wanted to do an MRI on both. So I had to do the pinpoint MRI. They had to do the needle MRI on both breasts. And then I had to do the lay down on the MRI machine on both breasts. Come to find out that the pathology report did come back. It was, they pinpoint the mass in my right breast, and then they saw two papillomas in my left breast.
Oh, wow.
So then I was like, oh, wait a minute, do I got cancer in both breasts? Because if that's the case, take them both. October 18th, I was having a sorority meeting at my house. And that's when I got the call back from the oncologist. I didn't even leave the room when I took the call. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I just broke down and I was like, meeting canceled. I just can't go on. Yeah, I was just devastated. Yeah. Everything started from there. It was a fast moving train. I've always had very lumpy breasts. And when I was younger, I actually had a cyst in my breast, and they had to, I was like 7th grade, and they had to drain it. My breast cancer, since everything is lumpy, you get to know your everything lumpy,
exactly.
Right? But this was not something that I could have found on my own. It was internal. It was near the breast, deep in by the ducts. It could have really gone undetected if I didn't have breast care.
Right.
If I didn't do my annual, my normal mammograms, because just the year before, I was it wasn't here.
Yeah.
When the pathology report came back, it's 1B, but it was very aggressive.
Okay. Aggressive.
It was the fact that it was aggressive and where it was. It was in the ducts, but it was milk ducts. It was and it was estrogen. It was built on estrogen, and I had an abundance of estrogen. Right. So my estrogen was actually feeding it. They did the surgery. They removed the mass in January, and come to find out they did not clear the margins on the first time. They had to go back in and do a second surgery. So I have a re-entry into the same. And then that same time they did the surgery, they took the two benign papillomas out in my left breast. So both, I joke to say both tatas were down.
Okay.
So both tatas were down at the same time. So.
And you just had a lumpectomy.
I had a lumpectomy in my right breast. And I realized now that I should have probably done some type of reconstructive surgery.
I was going to ask you
because
about
my left breast
well.
is way bigger than my right breast, and sometimes it's natural to have a slight difference in the size, but where they had to go in twice in the right breast is a huge difference for me self-consciously.
Yes.
I feel like I probably should have reconstructed.
There are several types of surgeries that people make it for multiple reasons. People will get reconstructive surgery. People will get implants if they feel like they want an enhancement. And it's all a personal choice. And that's the choice, if you ever decide to get surgery, that should be made by you because you have to live with it. And for those people who don't choose to get surgery for cosmetic reasons, then that would be the option to use a prosthesis. There are multiple different sizes and shapes and colors, and it's just kind of tailor made to the person so that it can, make them feel more symmetrical.
How were you able to manage like losing your hair? I know that can be devastating for women.
It was because that was one of the few things that I really liked, that the fact that I had thick hair and I can style it any way I wanted. After the very first treatment, before I even got to my second treatment, my hair had already started coming out from those drugs and that chemo. It started matting up to the point that I could pull it out. So my husband cut it off for me. One good thing about it is I had a nice head. You realize that, okay,
Right.
can I rock this? But at the time I was like, I cannot rock this bald head. I'm not embracing it yet. So I use wraps. I use different types of head
Turbans
wraps
and
and turbans.
wraps.
And I wore my hair short
to-
a lot. So I
Okay.
wore my hair in pixies. I've gone from pixies to bobs. And so it wasn't a huge stretch, but I had never been bald.
Totally bald.
And
yeah.
if I want to go bald, I want to go bald on my
Because
terms.
you want to go
because I
bald.
want to go
Right,
bald,
exactly.
Not because I lost my hair.
That's
so
right.
that was hard
Yeah.
to,
No, I can imagine
adjust
that it was.
to. It took me until late April, to say I'm not putting on another turban. I'm not putting on another wig.
Yeah.
So I had to embrace that, and then I was like, okay, I can do this.